And what I will the buy channel is so FunnTV GH. Yes, I say unsubscribe here, no subscribe here, my. What been Chibia so another acquire comment section at my. Mr. Solomon Owusu, the spokesperson, at the movement for change, Alan Chematini party, our free MPP mono, or equity, now. Or the NSMB out to be answer the petition be a command special prosecutor say or investigate Dr. Bawumia, because allegedly what is a Dr. Bawumia eto a year some 300 pickups be the support AMB before campaign a year 2024 election year no. Na miracles abuaje on the push share program so class really say any news na sounds and same way ye 30 that say a year candidate we as supported as our sponsor a year campaigns I also my say no. Dr. Bawumia koto pickups 300 any news and ya the fufu be na we the only say a be blackmailing bina a year Solomon Owusu and I say one in the movement for change from some blackmailing era a year Dr. Bawumia and some day be course upana yes I never call you about tea a moon chimu any day a course of program abra a year miracles abuajin Solomon Owusu a question you better call near Banadia Kenyano it will become edamasi.
Dr. Bawumia, alleged purchase of 300 pickup trucks sparked corruption concerns as a citizen petitions the Office of the Special Prosecutor to probe the source of funds used for the vehicles and related political activities. We speak to Solomon Owusu about this petition and get a response from Dr. Bawumia's camp. Top story brought to you by Telecel Connect has been lodged with Ghana's Office of the Special Prosecutor seeking an investigation into allegations of corruption, illicit enrichment and breaches of political financing laws against former Vice President and 2024 MPP presidential candidate Dr. Bawumia. Dr. Bawumia reportedly boasted about personally purchasing over 300 pickup vehicles for the MPP, raising questions about the source and legitimacy of the funds. He is acclaimed to have said no one in the party's history has raised as much money as he has, sparking concerns about possible abuse of public office and conflict of interest. The complaint cite possible breaches of Ghana's Political Parties Act, Anti-Money Laundering Act, and the Constitution regarding disclosure, reporting, and anti-corruption obligations. Now, the petitioners are Solomon Owusu and Andrew Apia Dankwa and Edwin Godwin Bachman, and they asked the special prosecutor to do a lot of things. My colleague Papani actually has been monitoring or going through that particular statement and joins me in studio with more. Papani, first, let's start with the grounds on which they're making this petition.
Well, just as you have said, this is really based on the alleged comment of former Vice President and former flag bearer of the MPP, Dr. Bawumia, on his alleged buying of 300 pickup trucks. Now, the grounds here, they state categorically three. One, that the source of funds, the acquisition of over 300 pickup vehicles, suggests access to extraordinary financial resources that demand verification of their origin and legitimacy, and again, possible abuse of public office, and that they claim that as a former vice president, a politically exposed person, Dr. Bawumia's ability to raise such unprecedented sums gives rise to a reasonable suspicion of abuse of influence, conflict of interest, or diversion of public resources. And the final grounds the petitioners gave was the potential breach of political financing and anti-corruption laws that Ghana's legal framework imposes strict disclosure, reporting, and anti-corruption obligations on public officers and political parties, and a failure to adhere to these standards constitutes offences punishable under the Ghanaian law base.
And yes, if you look through it, they are seeking some reliefs and sanctions, right?
Yes, Brace. So they are seeking quite a number of reliefs, about 5 of them in all. But I'll walk you through the major one. It says that, one, for the OSP to commence a full investigation into the origin of the funds used to procure the over 300 pickup vehicles and to finance related political activities. Also conduct a comprehensive audit, which includes undertaking a forensic audit to determine the exact cost of purchasing the over 300 pickup vehicles, including all related expenditure, financing arrangements, and payment channels. Also required Dr. Bawumia to make a full and sworn declaration of the total amount expended on the said purchase and to explain with verifiable evidence the lawful sources of the funds, and also for the OSP to publish the audit findings in line with the transparency mandate of the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the disclosure obligations under the Political Parties Act. Also, audit all fundraising activities led by or managed by Dr. Bawumia to determine compliance with the Political Parties Act and related statutes. Also, determine whether public or illicit funds were used. And then finally, seeking for the OSP to publish its findings to promote transparency and public accountability. So these are the 5 major reliefs sought by the 3 petitioners to the OSP brace.
Grateful to you, Papa Ni Ashale. This stop story brought to you by Telecel Connecting Energies and also by Shield Pension Trust into the Future for Movement for Change. And one of the petitioners on this particular matter that they're drawing the OSP's attention to. Solomon, I'm grateful to you for joining us here. Now, I mean, why is it so important that the OSP goes into this? Is it the assumption that there's no way the Vice President could have afforded these through legal means or legitimate means?
Thank you very much for having me. I mean, as public officers, we are enjoying to be transparent to the people of this country. So when we heard the Vice President make the claim that he donated 300 plus pickups, which we know to be in the region of, if we were to take the base of 300 as $80 million, because we know Navarra's cost is averagely $60,000 per pickup. So if it is 300, we are dealing with a minimum of $80 million. And you and I know the salary of a vice president, and so we became alarmed, hence petitioning the appropriate institution to go into the matters.
QuickBooks gives had a body like the CDD say that you require at least $200 million to be able to prosecute the presidential agenda in this country. Is $18 million that's outside the bracket? That is something we need to look into.
So, like I started by saying, we know the vice president's salary. There are laws that regulate political parties, the Political Parties Act of 2005-74. You also know that foreigners are not supposed to partake in fundraising activities of our country. So all that we are saying is that the vice president, the former vice president, who willingly told us that he single-handedly, emphasis mine, donated this amount, it's incumbent upon him to go to the OSP and then explain to him how he came by the 300 pickups. That shouldn't be my problem. That should be his problem.
Okay. But I mean, there are other people who have made similar comment as to their funding political parties. Why him alone? Or his is a bit different?
Kojo, have you heard any political actor openly come out to say he has donated 300 pickups?
Can't readily recall, but I've heard people say
so then we don't have to. You see, my brother, don't let us veer into other areas. Here is a former vice president who, under no pressure, he was not being questioned by journalists, he was not being interviewed by anybody. He willingly gave us this information. We have been complaining in this country that we do not know donors to our political activities. Now the vice president comes out to say he donated 300 plus pickups to a campaign. And as a citizen of this country, mind you, I'm not saying he's guilty. I have not pronounced him guilty. I am only saying that he should go and explain how he managed to buy the 300 pickups. I think you should rather be concerned as a Ghanaian.
I'm concerned, but also intent is one thing that we need to establish as well, not so.
Which intent?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking the questions I am, so that we
I'm
all
a Ghanaian
are on the same level.
That I am interested in people safeguarding my tax revenue.
Okay.
So this must concern you, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
You have been speaking about corruption, about the way people dissipate our public funds. Someone comes in to make a definitive statement, and not less a person than the former vice president. And so, if I petition, you must be concerned as to how you will follow and make sure, and let me say that I am going to follow together with all the petitioners this petition to the letter.
Okay.
So that we establish the veracity of his claims.
So the OSP has received this petition, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's stamped.
Okay.
We took it to the OSP at exactly 11:35 this morning. And it was well received.
Okay. Do stay with me. Let me bring in the Bawumia, Dr. Bawumia Cam, because we've been joined in the studio by the Director of Communications of the Dr. Bawumia campaign team, Miracles Abuaji. Miracles, I'm grateful to you for joining. Now, this is a petition questioning the source of funding of your boss. I mean, 300 pickups is just, that's a lot of money. That's why they are worried. How does your company react to this?
Well, I believe the petition was submitted to the OSP. We haven't seen it yet. When we eventually receive it, we'll look into it and understand what the issues are. And then I'm sure the OSP will have its processes. And I'm sure Dr. Bawumia will respond accordingly.
The basic point is about what was the source of funding. 18 million, I mean, per his analysis there.
I'm sure that's why he's submitted a petition, isn't that the case?
Yes.
So that will be dealt with.
No, but you are with the team. You should be able to tell us how you funded that.
I'm saying that how does politicians and political parties fund their activities? I was MC in Equiapem North. Whilst I was MC in Equiapem North, if I'm going to run for any political activity, there are several ways we raise funds. Individuals contribute towards it. Even in my constituency, Equiapem North, when the party is going into an election, I go to my constituency and make donations. When I'm going to make the donations, I come to friends, I come to families, I come to acquaintances, and I mobilize resources. That's one of the key requirements of a politician worth its salt. So, I mean, like you said, sometimes the intent is also very important. Because if the intent is not otherwise, I don't think it's a big deal. But legitimately so, like you said, he says he's interested in knowing how a politician and a vice president is able to mobilize such resources. I'm sure once the OSP does what he has to do, Dr. Bawumia would clearly deal with it. But I don't think it's something that is such a big deal. It is one of the easiest things for a politician worth its salt to be able to do, to mobilize resources. You know, I mean,
but those mobilizations are governed by laws.
Yes,
which of course he pointed
out
that foreign nationals are not supposed to be contributing.
Yes, why? Is it only foreign?
So you need to
is he only foreign?
How you were able to raise those monies.
Exactly, and that's the point. So that's the whole essence, isn't it?
Yes.
So that will be done.
But Ghanaians are listening to you.
No, but he didn't send a petition. He sent the petition to the OSP, isn't the case? I've given you an indication. Go online. If you go online right now and you Google, there's several instances, several times where during the campaign we raise funds. And these funds, some of them, in fact, some of the donations that were even made to the campaign were made public by the individuals and the groups and organizations who contributed. So for me, apart from the fact that every citizen has that right to be able to, put out such petitions, I don't think there's anything necessarily alarming in here. Raising 300 pickups, 500 pickups, I can do that. I can mobilize it from amongst my friends and acquaintances.
Just about 3 years ago,
I think that a politician worth its salt should be able to do. We organize, fundraising. Now we have short codes that we use to raise funds. We have fundraising dinners. We open desk in campaign offices to raise funds for contributions from individuals, all the way from the polling station to the highest level. So I don't really see the extraordinary scenario in here, but like he rightly said, it is within his right as a citizen. He wants answers and he will be given the answers.
Okay, stay with me. Solomon, you had the director of comms for the campaign team there, that they raise funds, and so these are issues that are within the domain of the presidential candidate to do.
So the beauty of it is that I did not petition the director of communication of the Bawumia campaign. I took the matter to the OSP, and this the media must be very much interested in this matter.
We are.
You have been speaking about corruption.
We're very much interested.
It shouldn't have been my fight, or the movement's fight, or Apia Dankwa's fight, or a Bo's fight, or Hobson's fight, or Nanaya's fight, or anybody. It should have been the fight of Joy FM. Immediately, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia made that statement. But nevertheless, we have decided to play our role as patriotic citizens.
Okay.
And so he must go to the OSP. At this stage, nobody has, as it were, said that this one is guilty or not. But we believe that the OSP must go into the matter and make the findings public. It's not going to be business as usual. It's not going to be business as usual.
Will you do same for all candidates in the last election, including member of parliament aspirant?
As a matter of fact, there are a series of petitions that are going to follow. We see the system is not busy enough. We need to help this country to revive. We are dying slowly. People are doing things with impunity in this country. And so there are a series of petitions that are going to follow. Remember, Brian Champion also said that he gave $1,500 to each constituency executive in the Eastern region. Remember, Kennedy Japan has been making a lot of noise. Now we understand the sales of Educhum has also arrived. A lot of things are in the pipeline. And then we, as a movement for change, that wants to change the dynamism in politics in this country, will lead this onslaught.
But Solomon, the question that people will be asking is, the names you mentioned put out some of these issues earlier, but you're taking on the vice. That's why people will be asking, why him first? Because some other people made their comment earlier on. For example, in 2019, presidential candidate of the NDC, John Mahama, handed over some 20 vehicles to the national chairman of the NDC to help enhance the operational capacity of the party's regional offices. Nissan pickup vehicles. So question is, why not then and now? Yeah.
Don't let us digress into areas that will not help this discourse. A former vice president goes to a campaign, make a bold statement, a petition on it. I believe that our discussions must be centered on it. You quoting me to 2019 about John Mahama receiving pickups. If you were in the know, why did he not petition? Then you would have done a great service to this country.
Oh, I'm asking you because you are petitioning against someone.
So I have petitioned.
That's what I'm asking.
That is current. If you know of John Mahama's own petition, that is why you are there.
Okay, anyway, now which part of the Political Parties Act, I'm looking for education, Political Parties Act allows such a petition and mandates the OSP to audit individual candidates of political parties?
You see, first of all, I have petitioned